right. Oh my god. All right. So we're back. Sorry for the TV. It's up. It's background noise. It's fine. So in the last video, I had. What did I talk about? Give me 1 second. Oh my god. Why weren't you prepared? I don't know. Oh my god. 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 Oh. Oh. Black magic white, dark magic light. Okay. I'm trying to get a new setup where I'm calm. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm learning to not yell all the time. So that's nice. But yeah, so in that video, I was talking about light magic and dark magic. Wait, yeah, isn't synonymous or equal to being a bad person or not. Because that's essentially what it is. What we're talking about is being a bad person or not. And dark magic and light magic, black magic, white magic does not dictate any of that. If you're just a shitty person, magic will inherently pull out your shittiness. Because magic works off the feminine principle, which is the hidden, the mysterious, the repressive, the subconscious, the underworld. So your demons. So what you got hidden in a closet, magic will just bring that out. Hell, guns will bring that out in you. You can tell a lot by a person by how they wield power. And you can also tell a lot about a person by how much they're afraid of power. But yeah, so going into darkness and light, because this will lead into my next video that I'm going to talk about evilness and goodness. And the evilness and goodness, dark and light, dark magic, light magic, white magic, black magic are all in the same system. It's not, they're not separate. But when it comes to darkness and light, there are two things to it. Everything is multidimensional. But when you okay, for you to understand dark and light, you have to understand that from the highest of the highest, which is pure imagination. That is everything and nothing. And I promise you, it's not as hard of a concept to comprehend if you just, oh, it's imagination. Y'all have an imagination, right? And in your imagination, anything's possible, even if you create rules for it. Real quick, I kind of threw this in here, but you have to just to let the imagination be. Just let the imagination be the imagination. Y'all put so many restrictions, not y'all. People put so many restrictions on. I'll be talking to you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. People put restrictions on everything. And the reason why people can't comprehend imagination is because they're, once again, restricting it. Imagination is one of those things where it doesn't make sense to restrict. Like, that is something you cannot restrict because it's not supposed to be restricted. And even if it is, it's not supposed to be seen as, oh, it's this and nothing else. When it comes to you restricting it. No, 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 no. The only time when imagination is restricted is when you want to create and you want to create a system. And even then it's not restricted. It's just focused imagination at that point. With a purpose, I guess you can say. That's the only time you can quote unquote restrict it, but you're not really restricting it. You're just focused, and now you're giving it more structure, more rules, because that's how creation works, right? Because ultimately, that's what purpose is. It has more structure, it has more purpose. This is why it's constructed like this for a reason, essentially. So yeah, so I'm throwing that in there. A lot of people create rules for their imagination, and they don't realize that they're restricting themselves. Your imagination can be whatever you want it to be. That's the thing about the imagination as well. You can set all those rules, but the core never leaves. The core of what that is and what you are never disappears. And that's imagination, which means you don't have to have those roles if you don't want to. You know what I mean? But when you're creating a system, even in your own imagination, y'all know this, especially if you are a person who creates manga or anime or video games, whatever, or play Sims, honestly, you understand that. I forgot what I was going to say. Cut. Oh, shit. You really did yourself in this one, didn't you? Oh, shut up, Philly. Little bitch. um, oh, yeah. The core of what it is still in you. And it knows that at any moment, if it chooses to enact its free will to be limitless, it can. It will. It does. And y'all just have to understand that go in your imagination. That's what imagination or source really is. I call it imagination, but you can call it source, whatever. That's what source or imagination really is. If you go inside your imagination and create anything you want to, if it makes sense or doesn't make sense, that's what imagination is. But you have to understand there's a purpose for that as well when it comes to creating life down here. Do you think that imagination or source is always creating something with a purpose? Sometimes they just create. That's why beings like creative people are here. For first of all, everybody's here for a different reason, obviously. But everybody is an expression of the expression of the expression of the expression, which I think is a void. But I'm gonna have to talk to imagination on that. I think I just made that up, or I probably got some download. I don't know, but I feel like the void is what imagination is, and it chooses. Okay, this is a little theory that I came up with a second ago, right before I made this. Real quick, this is a side note. Forgive me, but I think imagination or source really is think of the absolute void, the absolute nothingness, the blackness, right? And we all know that black holds all colors, right? Like, have you ever seen something that I have multiple times? And I was shocked when I found this out too as a kid. But black isn't necessarily just an absence of color, which it can be, but black could be the absolute of all colors as well. Because have you ever seen I call it a prismatic black, something that's so black you can see the rainbow in it. I'll put up a picture up here, but I remember seeing that. Like, I've seen birds like that. It's crazy. Or like outfits so black you see a rainbow. And it's crazy because I feel like imagination is that absolute void. And what I feel like what we call source isn't source how we think it. I feel like it is source. It is source very much. But I consider source or imagination is an aspect of, not the aspect of the void, but put it this way. Say you're the void, right? And you're absolute everything, but you desire more. I feel like imagination or source is us, is the part of the void that was dense, created into a powerful, dense light, and constructed with all the void's desires, wants, dreams, fears, hopes, everything, just everything, limitless everything, right? And the void projected that out into light. Because not only is light part of the void, but what's opposite of the void, y'all? That right there would be the Vesica Pisces. That right there would be the duality. And then that light, because we all know the principle of light is, I didn't say it in here. I guess this goes into my theory. So after that, you get the principle, and this is just like the most dumbed down version ever, right? Just keep it simple, because there are always nuance and details. But that light is what we think is the end all be all, and that's not it. The void is, but you can choose to go back to it or not, and how you go back to it is up to you. If you want to create like the void on the highest level, like the void on the highest level, you can do that. Like I'm telling you, it's all free game, honestly. And like I said, this little part right here is a theory, but I also feel like there is actual truth to it because I got this right before I started shooting this video, and it honestly correlates to what I'm saying though about the darkness and the light, and how the light is from the darkness. So yeah, but what you want to do, but all the hopes and desires and wish and wants and fears and all that was dense down into light, and light is the masculine principle. Light is the principle on the highest level. Light is the principle that constructs. It constructs, right? And because that light was constructed with all the desires, wants, and everything, and that being a part of that's the void's everything. Essentially, that's the void's limitlessness on two levels, right? Because the void inherently is limitless, but it created something to express its limitless desires, wants, dreams, and needs, right? So it's limitless on two levels. And from that source or that imagination or construct of creation or desires, whatever you want to call it, because now it's dense down into light, it can create more than what the void had, if that makes sense. The void had everything, but it was still missing something. At the same time, it had nothing. It had everything, while at the same time, it had nothing. And that's why source or this golden light exists. And this, sorry if there's noise outside. Oh my god, y'all probably can hear that. But I wanted to shoot this video, but I probably should just waited because I'm shooting another video tonight, and I didn't want to do it right after each other. So please forgive me. Let me see if I can hear myself. Okay, so we're good now. I can hear myself still. I'm sorry for that noise once again, but because I want to shoot a Housewives video later tonight. It'll probably go up tomorrow, but well, I don't know. It'll go up soon because I gotta get this uploaded first. Anyway, sorry, not to spill my problems on TM. But anyways, like I said, so light. But this goes with what I'm saying too. A little theory, but once that light decided it's everything, it is source is the embodiment of the desires. I don't think source is what it really is, to be honest. And honestly, I don't even know if imagination, I would say, would be the highest name of it. And once imagination is combined with the void, I feel like it's, I don't know what it would be. I guess nothingness, not imagination, not something, just nothingness. And we all know with nothingness, that is the most blank canvas to paint upon, if you want to. But yeah, because I've always wanted to know where does source come from. Because some just in my soul just seem like, I could be wrong, but something in my soul just, no pun intended, just told me like there's more to the story. I feel like there's no way source is here. But then I guess you can ask, well, how did the void get here? The void was always here. And that is crazy to understand. But the void was always here. The void was always here. But what's above that? There might be something above that we don't know. But who knows? That's like I said, that's just me being down here in human form, coming up with that. At least I think. But like I said, at the top, I mean, imagination is that light, and that's why a lot of people see light. They always compare source to light, which that is not wrong. But people tend to be extremists. Humanity is full of extremists. Everybody's so full of extremes with everything. And hyper literal, I feel like. But it's light, yes, but that is more than just light. TV. I turn my TV off. I like background noise, but I hate skipping ads. It's so fucking annoying. I'm sick of ads anyway. Killing me. But yeah, so you understand that darkness and light are the same exact thing. And it's not saying one is better than the other, one is worse, one is less. It's not saying any of that. It's saying this is me. Like, it's essentially like when people have a bunch of dreams and hopes and wishes, and then they shame themselves or restrict their dreams or wishes and put them out because I forgot what I was going to say. I ain't gonna lie, I literally just forgot what I was doing. While I was talking, anyway, back to what I was saying. If it comes to me, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Come. C-U-M-E. Cumin. Cumin. C-U-M-I-N. Yes, cumin. Okay, so darkness and light are both. When you say darkness, you're saying light without even saying it. Inherently, when you say dark, you're saying light. When you say light, you're saying dark. Because remember when I said when you create, you inherently have duality? Yeah, it's not something you need to understand. It's something you just know that will just naturally happen based off the principles of creation. Right? You, right there, I'm talking to you, was born into this world with a shadow. You see your shadow all the time when the light was when there's light, and you also see it when you look in the mirror. But you don't shame your shadow or reflection for being a shadow or reflection. That's insane, right?
Dad?
That's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to shame the goddamn shadow. It's like we missed the plot. That's what I'm saying. You're not supposed to look at the shadow and say, "Bad shadow," and try to kill it. Or reflection. They're literally just there. They didn't ask to be. They didn't ask to be here. Do you really think a shadow or your reflection would decide to be here if they knew you was going to abuse it? Nah, I guess if they like pain, but that can be a reflection of yourself. It's like a lot of what I said. I watched something about when I've been into Zelda lately, more and more, especially Ganondorf. But sexy daddy, it's daddy. Yes, my demon lord, my demon king god. Okay, focus. So I know, right? So y'all hate yourselves. Let me stop. But no, that would be equivalent to Source hating themselves for being themselves. Oh, that's introspection. That is deep. That's what's that dream called? Where it's like a dream within a dream within a dream. It's that. It's dreamception.
This is your first time here.
Well, y'all, it's a loop. It's toxic, vicious, violent,
am
volatile.
I have lived here since, since long before you were born. And you're wondering just where here is. Eh?
Well, yeah, that's what it's like.
Half the things you've seen when you're asleep
is to
ever felt
complement the light.
particularly
The
real
light
to
is
you.
to complement the
Have you ever
darkness.
thought for sure
It's not that it's
all
one
had
or
to
it's
be
better.
something
It's to
more?
show you that
Well,
when you're
that's
down
because
here,
what
especially at the
people
lower
think of
levels,
as
right?
dreams is really
Where things
this
are more
world.
divided, but it's not divided because this is better or this is worse. It's
Precisely.
divided so you can
This
see on
is
the
the
lowest
night
level, so you can see the
the
details
place people
at
make
its
their way
lowest
to when they're asleep.
level.
This
So you can
area
see,
here
this is what a
known
poisonous
as
plant
the
looks like. Oh,
Dream
so this is what a
Gate.
healing plant look like. Oh, so wait, you can mix poison with this and it can neutralize the toxin? Oh shit, I don't know. I thought all poison was bad. No, silly. And I was gonna put it towards like the end of the video where I actually mentioned it about that video, but I said like fuck it, I'm gonna put the Power Ranger clip here because I keep getting thoughts and stuff that I want to say, and I'm gonna say it before I forget.
Oh,
But
well,
essentially,
isn't
you
that
saw like
carefree
even
little
going off this
rascal
little
here?
clip right here, because after this, I'm gonna show the Power Ranger clip and talk about that. But
Hey,
what I was
now
saying was
this one
essentially
looks
that it's
interesting.
because it's its nature. Down here,
My name is
and up
Knight.
there, evil
What's
or
yours?
darkness
I'm Will.
is operating
huh?
in its nature.
Say, Will,
The light
have you ever thought about flying?
is and the
If you
goodness is
dualize
operating
with
within
me,
its nature.
you can check it out
It's
for
not
yourself.
morality.
Want to give it a shot?
It has nothing to do with morality.
Dual-
Even saying evil and goodness has absolutely
dualize.
nothing to do with morality
Oh,
at its highest.
dualizing allows your
It's
bodies
just
to assimilate
polarity.
with one another.
Hot isn't bad, cold isn't
It's
good.
probably much easier to
Water
understand if you
isn't
just
necessarily inherently
Go
good, but it's
over
not
and
evil
touch
either.
Knight.
It's just water.
You'll
Because
see what
water
I
can
mean.
kill just as much as it can heal. Hello. And it's most of our fucking planet. You know what I mean? It's just nature. And in the Power Ranger clip that I'm about to show, the org is saying that I only kill, I only do what I do for my purpose, and that's destroy. And Cole before that said, if I can reason with it, everything has a heart. And if it has a heart, I can reason with it. It's not about reasoning, it's not about morality, it's not about having a heart. It's about nature.
Well,
It is. And it's no deeper than that, but yet it's very deep
well,
and very impactful.
well.
And ultimately, that's what it is. It's just nature.
Hey guys, maybe the org is like a wild animal driven from its home. We should try to reason with it.
Do you really think that an org would listen to you?
Animals don't attack without a purpose. If we can find out what that is...
Do whatever you want, leader. We have an org to stop. Let's go.
Please, just wait. I just want to talk.
I'm a little busy right now!
Stop!
What?
It's too dangerous! It's not like an animal!
Every living thing has a heart. If I can just connect to it, there's a chance.
Cole, don't!
Not gonna hurt you.
Not gonna hurt me.
I can't hear anything. You don't have a heart.
And you don't have a brain!
Why are you doing this?
Because orgs exist for only one reason, to destroy and wreak havoc. Attack!
It has no place for morality. A lion will not give a fuck if it eats a baby or a full-grown adult. And it's not necessarily because it's lower, because animals know what babies are. Animals know inherently what babies are, and they intentionally go after babies because they can't defend themselves. At the same time, they protect their young from other predators, from other people, other beings. But at the same time, they are those predators, those other beings. It understands its complexity and its simple nature. And we just see the most primitive, basic form of creation, y'all. And we're putting made up moralities on it. You can't put morality on nature. That has no place. That has no place for that. You know? And I'm asking you to look at it from the highest perspective. Yes, it's not saying that there aren't shitty people or awful people, but that has nothing to do with them being dark or evil. They're just choosing with their free will and their heart to be shitty. And same with a person who wants to be kind. It's choice. And it gets to the point where you do it so much, it just becomes your nature. It's not about, oh, you're a sex worker? The sex is bad. That's evil. You a Jezebel spirit. You can literally love sex without being considered evil or bad, even. But that was just an example. That applies to anything. It's y'all have to understand, like, I guess you can say it's compassion. Ultimately, what's above that, evil and darkness, is compassion. Because you understand that, oh, you were just this. You're just operating like this. This isn't bad or good. It just is. Oh, the ocean chooses to drown? Maybe, depending on the ocean and how petty it is and vindictive it is. But that means it's just a shitty ocean. But it doesn't, these fires, these earthquakes, these thunderstorms don't do it just for the sake of terrorizing. And it includes on a lower level. People, there's much more higher things at play, is what I'm trying to say here. Much more higher divine purpose. And I know this sounds crazy, even when there's shitty people who do, and I mean the absolute most vile thing you could think of, there is a purpose for that. A divine purpose for that. You know what I mean? And it's for you to understand and see that these beings aren't out to hurt you, they're out to teach you. It's kind of like healing your shadows. Once you heal your shadows, you understand that your shadows were never the problem. You were. And how you viewed it was. Your shadow was evil because you viewed it as evil. And you operated in a sense of opposing it because it's evil, it's bad, it's wrong. No. So now you in nature are its contrast and you are its extreme. So yeah, if that makes sense, because you don't reason with nature. Nature is going to nature regardless. It's just nature. You can utilize it, but there's no reasoning with it because it's not its purpose. Nothing to reason with. You don't reason with nature. You reason with irrational people that are saying, you know what? Since I'm having a bad day, let's blow up the world. You reason with that. You see what I'm saying? There's a purpose and a rhyme and reason and a time and place for certain things. So yeah, I just want to say that. Because people give false meaning to things that they're trying to find a purpose in. So everything is evil because you want to be a good person. And it doesn't have to be that extreme. And nor does everything have to be evil. I'm hoping this is making sense because I'm adding this while I'm editing. Because I wanted to split this little section off because going off what I was just saying a second ago, right before this moment, was that the reason why it's so difficult is because you're only looking at it through a keyhole. It's not difficult. You're just limiting your perspective. And I'm not saying this perspective is wrong or bad necessarily. It's limiting. And you can't claim to know anything if you're only knowing one aspect of something. You know what I mean? And I'm just asking you have to open yourself up to the highest level possible, imaginable. Because you will look at someone walking into their sexuality as evil. Oh, that's a succubus. She's demonic. She's feminine. She's extra feminine, and she wants to show off her curves. Oh, that's evil. That's a spirit tempting us, trying to get us to fuck her. And you see how extreme that is, and that's not how it works. Logically, and on the highest level, logically and cosmically, that's not how that works. Someone owning themselves and authenticity, someone else will see that as a negative thing. You have to understand that we're all playing out different aspects of each other and creation. It's not saying, once again, that if somebody breaks into your house, allow them. No, if somebody breaks into your house, do what you need to do. Period. But at the same time, you have to also understand that it's never as it seems and it's never that simple. But it is. And I know it seems like I'm canceling myself out, but y'all have to understand that these dualities, these multi simplicities, They all are complex just as much as they are simple. Everything gets convoluted. The higher and the lower you go, the higher and lower you go, the more and more things get convoluted and lose that meaning, but it never loses the core value of what it is. You know what I mean? And I think the problem is with people down here is that we see things from such a limited, low perspective. This is why you always have to remain open-minded, because you don't know shit. We don't know shit down here. We know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. That's why it's always nice to have somebody else other than yourself to talk to that is of a more authentic consciousness. Because then they'll also, in a way, show you more about yourself and creation in a more of a non-biased way. I will say a lot of people will have their biases because, human, right? We're down here in the lower dimensions, of course. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But don't let that bias get in the way of truth. Don't let your biases get in the way of truth. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for that little part. Yeah, I think that's it. So I love y'all. Because poison isn't meant for your morality. Light and darkness is not moral. Nature isn't moral. And that's the nature of creation. That's the nature of imagination. When you create from your imagination, you're not creating out of morality. You're creating out of truth, out of imagination, out of what is. Not, oh, this is gonna be bad for me. It's gonna go on my permanent record. Oh my god, I'm gonna get in trouble. Oh my god, like this is wrong. This is bad. Like, oh my god, bad, 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 bad. You can't do that because, for one, humans will say anything is bad and demonic. For one, I just need to say that. So first of all, you can't even trust yourself if you're walking around saying everything's evil, everything's bad, everything's demonic. And that's the reason why people don't understand creation. It's because they're cutting off half the body of creation and saying that, yeah, this is all it is. It's just this, light. And I'm not talking about dark in the sense of just murdering and all that stuff, which that's a part of it. But even that has a divine purpose. Y'all have to understand, at the end of the day, we are all broken off from each other. Yes, we are individual sovereign beings. But y'all have to understand, at the exact same time, at the core of the truth of the matter, we are everything. We are imagination. We are the source. We are the all. But you also have to understand, at the same time, this is how the omnidimensionality comes into play. You understand that at the same time, I am having a physical experience. There is a meaning for it because I am playing within my own game. You have a video game, you're going to have people testing out the game to making sure when you give it out to everybody, it's good, right? This is what's happening. This is literally what's happening right now. We are the game developers. At the same time, we are the what is it called? The control group that's testing the game out, playing the game. And mind you, that's a real job. Playing the game to make sure it's good, see if it needs any of this. Right now, this game needs a little more magic and imagination and fun. So there are beings coming to this game, this planet, this creation, this imagination to give it more of this. We are all inherently balancing each other out. It's called chaos. I'm about to say chaos control, but it's called quality control, or quality control. Just making sure everything's good. Because what is a game? Most games that y'all like has an opposing force. Does it not? One of my favorite TV shows is Power Rangers. No matter how kiddie y'all might say it is, that shit can get dark real fast. And there are Power Rangers that actually die in the series. From the old ones to the new ones. There are literally, and then in Wild Force, Cole was trying to figure out, and I think it was the second episode, Cole, the Red Lion Power Ranger, tried to figure out, why are orcs so evil? Why are they evil? Why are they evil? And he kept trying to connect to their heart and found out they didn't have a heart. It's their nature, because it's not about having a heart necessarily, but when you have this is contrast within contrast within contrast within contrast, right? Because at the highest, it's not about the heart. It's not. And but at the same time, it is, because you are the force, you are the heart, and you're opposing quote unquote force. And don't take it literally, like opposing, like you're the enemy, you're this. It's not about blue or red. It's about purple. And the way it is that opposing force inherently won't have a heart, or we won't deem it to have a heart, because they're destroying, we're creating. If there was nothing to destroy, no side would exist. If there was nothing to create, no side would exist. Imagine if rabbits kept creating. There will inherently be destruction. And of course, at the high, and it takes form in different ways, because you don't really understand how the darkness causes things to transform and to progress and move forward. And I think the problem is that we are looking at things at its lowest level, and all we see are the primitive states of creation. We're not aware that creation is far more than what we can see with our eyes. It's more than just, oh, that's bad, that's good. It's more than just Republican, Democratic. It's more than just straight or gay, because none of that actually exists. That is literally a construct. There is division, the actual division, for no reason. Like I said, I'm Team Purple. Okay. Androgynous over here. So when you have when you have darkness and light on its lowest level, it's just showing you. Oh yeah, back to the Power Rangers real quick. And he realized he can't reason with it because there's nothing to reason with at that point. Your nature is to stop their nature. Their nature is to stop yours. That's just how it plays out on the lowest level in the most primitive form. But at its highest, if y'all ever watch The School of Good and Evil, and I'm going to talk about this in my next video, that even the teachers understand that balance. The evil teacher saying we have to protect the balance of good and evil, because there is a very delicate balance between that. And the problem is, a lot of people, when it comes to darkness and the light, they are too extremists on either side of how they view it and how they perceive it. And it's not about being extreme, it's about being in harmony, bitch. The yin has a little bit of the yang. The yang has a little bit of the yin. They both understand that we are each other, but we're one soul, which is a twin flame, one soul, one soul that breaks off essentially and experiences two different things. It experiences itself in two different ways. So the darkness experiences creation through the darkness. The light experiences things through the light. They both respect and revere each other, but they all have a purpose, and they understand that I'm not absolute, you're not absolute. It's not about you or me, it's about us, creation, imagination. And how do we decide to express ourselves? And the light is, like I mentioned earlier, is order. It's the construct. It focuses and hones in on, okay, this is what we created. We create buildings, that structure, right? That's what like light essentially it's more than just creating buildings, but it's an example. It's creating. Darkness and light are both creating, but in different ways. And this is why I say light is the final step, because it's what we see. It's what we see. It's not the final step because it's less than. It's the final step because that's the last. That's all. We're done with everything now. It's like when you build a building. Now, I'm not a contractor, but I know the basics of creating. Creating. And when you're building a building, you have to first come up with the idea, which is your imagination. Okay, boom, we got the imagination down. So first, I'm imagining a building that sells burgers. Okay, boom. Now here comes the darkness. Now the darkness will start to give it a shape. Okay, you got a building and you want burgers. Okay. So what kind of burgers exactly? Hamburgers, turkey burgers, vegan burgers. That's it? Okay, so just those 3 burgers. Okay. Now let's give those burgers a little bit of color. Let's give it a little bit of form. A little bit of form. We want the burgers to be big and juicy. Right? So at the same time, it's still working with that imagination as well. But it's more playing in the background because now the darkness is in the forefront. And it's like, okay, the darkness is like, okay, imagination. You said what? Sometimes the darkness will check in on imagination. Be like, what'd you say you wanted again? This? Okay. Okay. Let's add it. And the imagination pretty much the darkness would pretty much do whatever you allow for the most part. So it's like, okay, this makes sense. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Because there still is logic in the darkness. It's just a different type of logic. But let's do this. Okay. Chaos, essentially. Let's do this. Let's create this. Let's add this over here in this building. And let's paint it red, but keep it red and white. No, actually, you know what? Scratch that. Make it red and silver. Let's give it a space burger theme. Actually, I would totally go for that. But a burger space theme. Okay, boom. So between the imagination and darkness, you're getting pretty much most of it filled out. The light, however, is how can we make this make sense? So you got all the stuff, but the light is what fills in the details. If that makes sense. Like you got everything. You want a space burger place. You want it to be silver and red, and you wanted the burgers to be nice, fat, and juicy. And you have 3 selections: turkey burger, vegan burger, hamburger. And then it gets to the light, and it's like, okay, you run it through the light. It's like any corporation. You got to run it through somebody first, right? It starts from the bottom down. I mean, the top. Wait, it starts from the top to the bottom. And or creating film or anime or cartoons or whatever you want to call it. It gets to the light, and the light's like, okay, so how can we make this practical? How can we make this practical? How can we make it make sense? And how can we give this a reason for it to make all of this sense and for it to have a purpose? And now it gets to the light, and the light's like, okay, well, let's get some employees up in here. We want people that are fun and fresh and that understand the value of play and business and all that. And then we need people that know how to run the business over here, but also still open-minded and not afraid to play either. So we need to add this over here. And then you got the building pretty much organized out. But it's like, how can we be practical? No, you had chairs beside the door, but customers don't want to sit beside people coming in and out, right? So let's move the chairs from the door, and let's add like something that will draw in the customers. You know what I mean? And that's what light is. Is how can we make this more? How can we make this even more physical? That way we can make it even more real for everyone, for creation itself. That's all light is how can we make this more real so that everybody can experience it? So everybody can experience this level of imagination, this level of creation, this level of source. It's not about this or that being separate. It's about you being able to see all of who you are and expressing that in however you want to, while at the same time not limiting yourself. And understand that even when you limit yourself, that can even be fun as long as you don't forget that you're limitless. You're not meant to be stuck in a certain mode. That's what darkness helps us realize, right? That's what chaos helps us realize. Excuse me. That's what evil helps us realize, right? So yeah, I think I hit the mark on that one, honestly. I think I was gonna say something else, but no, I think that's good. I really don't want this video being no more than like 40 minutes. So yeah. Yes. But yeah, like I said, next time I'm gonna do a video on evilness and goodness. I like to call it evilness and goodness. But so the difference between darkness and light is that there is no difference. They're the same thing, just different polarities. They are literally doing the exact same thing. Through life comes death. Through death comes life. Memento fucking mori.